Welcome to today's Explainer, Operative. We're jumping right in because it's time to brief you on your ultimate defense against the constant, literally ever-present threat of data interception. You see, in our modern age, information doesn't just sit safely locked away in some vault. It's flying through the air, across fiber optic cables, and bouncing through servers at the speed of light. And you know what? At every single step of that journey, someone out there is trying to grab it. That's exactly why understanding cryptography, the art of building an absolutely unbreakable digital shield, is no longer just some niche skill for math geniuses. It's a fundamental, absolute requirement for all of us operating in today's digital landscape. Think about the phrase, decode the world, defend your data. Now, that's not just some catchy motto. It's your primary objective in this high-stakes digital arena, where protecting information is just paramount. If we can't decode how the digital world actually operates, well, there's no way we can defend the data flowing through it. It's really a two-part mission. First comes the decoding, the understanding. And once you've got that down, then you have the power to put up a perimeter around your most valuable assets. So let's get into Section 1, Defend Your Digital World, the Threat of Interception. To counter these threats, we are going to look at an incredible platform called CipherQuest. It's a Quest-based cryptography adventure that's specifically designed for university students. Think of this as your simulated training ground. It was built completely from the ground up to help students who are already stepping into this super complex tech landscape and kind of know what's at stake, master the actual art of data defense. We aren't just reading about encryption here. We're embarking on an adventure where the stakes feel real and the skills are immediately applicable to securing our digital environments. Moving right along to Section 2, the cryptography evolution, building your arsenal. To build up this arsenal, there are exactly 3 progressive levels of encryption that you have to conquer within the training ground. It's a very deliberate, structured progression, basically designed to take you from total novice to a seasoned data defender. And watch how this complexity escalates. You start out with a foundational Caesar cipher, just mastering that basic alphabetical shift. Once you've locked down that baseline, you escalate to the Vigenère cipher, which introduces a significantly more complex, polyalphabetic substitution approach. Finally, you ultimately deploy the high-tech, modern lock of layered XOR encryption, using advanced bitwise operations to really secure your data. By physically progressing through these historical and technical milestones, you aren't just learning what these ciphers are. You're literally experiencing the evolution of cryptography firsthand. This brings us to Section 3, Quest-based learning. Enter the training ground. Now, what's a real game changer about this simulation is that we are completely ditching the passive, academic approach of learning by lecture. Instead of just sitting back and listening to someone drone on and on about keys and shifts, you learn by doing. You absorb the core ideas through crisp visual infographics first, and then boom, you immediately transition into applying them through hands-on, high-stakes puzzles. It's active, it's engaging, and it forces your brain to immediately test out the theory it just absorbed. And this methodology is so critical because each level introduces just one new idea at a time through these hands-on puzzles. So you aren't just passively soaking up theory from a textbook, you're cracking codes in real time. By isolating one new cryptographic concept per level and forcing you to actually solve a puzzle to get past it, you truly internalize every single mechanism. It totally bridges the gap between just knowing about cryptography and actually doing cryptography. Okay, Section 4, Mastering the Gamified System. Rewards for the operative. The really crucial point here is how these mechanics drive your learning. Every single time you successfully crack a puzzle, you earn XP. And you aren't just getting a pat on the back either. You are unlocking collectible badges. You're climbing a local leaderboard to see exactly how your skills stack up against other operatives. And honestly, perhaps most addictively, you can chain wins together to build these bonus glory streaks. This gamification takes what could be a pretty dry subject and turns it into a thrilling competition. It proves your mastery over the intercepts, all while keeping you coming back for more. Within that whole gamified system, there is one very specific target to aim for: 8. Securing all 8 collectible badges is the absolute ultimate flex within the simulation. Earning all 8 of them marks you not just as a participant, but as a top-tier data defender who has truly mastered every single curveball the system can throw at you. Which leads us to Section 5, Endless Dynamic Challenges. The simulation never sleeps. This brilliantly illustrates why the training is just so effective. A dynamic challenge means that you get a completely new puzzle every single time you replay. Because the system randomly generates its scenarios from a massive fresh pool of plain text, encryption keys, and cipher shifts, you will literally never face the exact same puzzle twice.
You can't just memorize the answers here. You have to actually understand the underlying cryptographic principles, because the parameters of the threat change every single time you log in. This dynamic generation means you can replay the quests endlessly. You see, cryptography isn't just a skill you learn once and then forget about. It's a muscle that requires constant flexing. By jumping back into these ever-changing, dynamic puzzles, you ensure your digital shield remains absolutely impenetrable against any form of interception. So, we've explored the escalating threats, from basic shifts all the way to layered XOR encryption, and we've seen how a hands-on, gamified training ground can turn you into an elite operative. You have the tools, you understand the training ground, and you know the stakes. But as technology rapidly advances, the ultimate question remains. The next cipher is waiting. Will the digital shield you build today be strong enough to defend your data tomorrow?